TBOB.
You just get in like the rap mood after that
With Richard Dixon.
Yeah,
I guess it didn't really work. Do we have Brady yet, Musa? Oh, you're calling him now? We're about to talk to John Brady. He is in Gainesville with the team. Going to ask his opinion on tonight's basketball game. I just got a series of texts from my wife. She's very upset with me. We have one car that's kind of designated as a baby car. I took the baby car to work today. She did not figure out until she went to leave the house. She's very upset with me. My point is, there's a basket right by the door where you're supposed to put the keys.
You're digging yourself a hole right now.
If the keys aren't in there, then why is it my fault that I took the baby car?
You're losing.
You're going to rush this morning.
You're going to lose. It doesn't matter if you're right. When you're right, you're wrong. You're always going to be wrong.
That's fair. Let's talk to a man who is never wrong. My man, Coach John Brady. Coach Brady, what's going on, brother?
Hey, you're wrong again.
Damn it. Yeah, I'm in trouble, aren't I? I should have never brought that up.
Yeah.
I was just trying to stall time while Musso called you, and now I might have dug myself in a hole. All right, speaking of digging themselves in holes, Will Wade last game, Coach Brady talked about how he thought LSU started really slow against his Florida team. They had to play catch-up. That's not what you want to do against this Gator team. Do you think LSU gets off to a faster start tonight?
Well, that remains to be seen, but I think that's the plan, is to go in there and be aggressive from the beginning and try to take advantage of any opportunities that we have in terms of trying to beat the Florida defense. You know, I would assume Florida will use the same blueprint of defending LSU like they did in Baton Rouge. Double the Tremont Waters off every ball screen, try to get the ball out of his hands, limit LSU's penetration that creates baskets for themselves or someone else, and make LSU a three-point shooting team, and then try to play them even on the board. You know, at our place, Tremont goes 3 for 12 from the floor, 2 for 8 from the three, and usually when that happens, you know, Javonte Smart takes up the slack. But that particular game, Javonte was 2 for 8 from the floor and 0 for 3 from the three. So both of our guards that really handle the ball the majority of the time had subpar games. So hopefully one of those or both tonight will play better against this Florida team.
Yeah, there was some in the water last time, man. Not only they struggled from the field, but they very uncharacteristically struggled from the line. That ended up being the difference in the game. Right before that Florida game, Coach, we asked you, how would you game plan against LSU? I think you gave great answers. And I think actually that's kind of the same game plan that Florida then went on to execute. So on the flip side of that, if you were LSU, after what you saw out of Florida last game, how are you looking to combat what the Gators did to you?
Well, there's no one way, but an idea is when they double Tremont off a ball screen, I've always told the guard that they're doubling, take a retreating dribble, pass the ball to the player that left to double team him, which is mostly a postman because you have the postman screening for the ball handler. Yeah. Back it up, throw it back to the postman, and let him quickly reverse the ball and then drive the ball on a rotating, closing out defense and then make something happen. Just back it up quick, hit it to the postman who pops back, reverse it quick, then drive the ball because then the defense is in a rotating closeout situation, and LSU is very good at attacking the basket when the defense is closing out to them.
Yeah, and I guess that's when guys like Smart or Tremont, whichever one doesn't, start the play in that situation. They've been very good at attacking the basket. Nas Reed
drives the ball.
Oh yeah, Scholar. How could I forget about Scholar? Yeah. Scholar's been surgical in how he picks apart. He's so smooth. What about Nas Reed, Coach? This last Florida game, not only were they focusing on Tremont a lot, but every time Nas Reed touched the ball, immediate double team, no matter where he was on the floor. How do you think he defeats that? Is it by finding the open guy, or does he look to maybe see if, do you want him to try to make something happen against that double team?
Well, it depends. If he can catch the ball and quickly attack the rim, I would do that. But if he sees the double team coming, they establish the double team, he's got to take a retreating dribble too, and then look to cross-court the ball to the opposite wing and then have somebody in the corner below the wingman. Cross-court it to the wing. Somebody's got to rotate, then make one more pass to someone in the corner and either drive it or shoot it. And that's how I would combat the double team of the post. Now, they did that also in Baton Rouge, too, is doubled Nas like that, and you're exactly right. But, Nas did wound up getting 13 or 14 rebounds that game, so he did go to the glass, and he kept trying to play. And one thing about Reed, too, I think he's a pretty good post passer. And if they do double team him, you dive the opposite post to the opposite block, try to throw it cross court, and then make one more pass and then make something happen. Anytime you can get the ball quickly out of the double team and get it reversed with one more pass, you have a chance to attack a rotating defense.
Yeah, Coach, and I agree with that. But when we're talking about all these double teams, you got Tremont getting doubled off the screen, and then Nas Reed getting down in the post and getting double teamed. There's guys got to be open. You're playing with 5 guys, 2 of them are getting double teamed every time they touch it. Is it more about just rotation of the ball, and some of your other guards, your other players are going to have to take these open shots when you get Nas and Tremont being double teamed?
Yeah, well, at our place, Florida did really 4 things at our place. They control the tempo for the most part. LSU only shot the ball 64, 65 times. They usually shoot it 72 to 75 times. Florida was patient on offense. They scored early or scored late. The second thing they did, they double-teamed Tremont, as we said, and they double-teamed Nas. And they played us even on the board. We didn't kill them on the offensive glass like we do. I think the boards were like 2 difference in the whole game. Yeah. And then what they did on the road is they won the most important stat, the field goal stat. They outshot us 46 to 43. And oh, by the way, they made 11 threes. Now, we can't let them beat us beat us in the board tonight. We can't. I wish we'd play them even on the field goal stat, but I don't think we can allow Florida to make 11 threes. I think they need to be a jump shooting team, cover the 3, make them do something in the mid-range, because if the way they defend and control tempo, anytime you give up 11 threes, it's hard to overcome that unless you just smother them on the free throw line or get a bunch of offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and Coach, you touched on something there that was most surprising to me about that last game, which is Florida was the worst rebounding team in the SEC coming into the game. Partially, that's because of the pace that they play at, but I still thought that's where LSU would have a big advantage. The Gators managed to keep it even. Well, one way was that, look, when you shoot a volume amount of threes like Florida does, the rebounds get a little crazy. Do you change your coaching style at all when it comes to dealing with those longer rebounds? It just seemed like last game the ball kind of consistently bounced Florida's way.
Well, my vocabulary with that, and I try to stress to teams I've coached that shoot threes, is long shots make for long rebounds, so your guards have to go back and rebound it. If a team's going to shoot 30 threes at night, the ball, it's just the trajectory of the ball from a longer distance comes longer off the rim, so guards have to be conscious of that and go back and rebound it. So guards should have 4 or 5 rebounds apiece if they're shooting a bunch of threes, and I think that's what you do. You just challenge it, make them miss, and expect the ball to come out long, and then the guards have to go run it down and be rebounders as well.
Look, kids, that's physics. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. There you go. Who said off the bench wasn't a math show?
I don't take it that far. I'm not that smart, but I do know.
Sir Isaac Newton?
A long way. Usually it comes off a long way.
Or Sir John Brady. The world may never know. Sir John, how are you feeling about tonight's game, man? Give us maybe a little prediction. LSU looking for revenge, looking to be the first in school history to go undefeated on the road in the SEC. How do you see it playing out?
Well, to go undefeated on the road would be just an incredible thing for this team to be able to do, and exciting to watch how it develops. I want to see how we come out, how aggressive we come out, how we attack the rim, and how we handle the double teams and get some ball reversals and drive the ball to the goal. If we come out aggressive tonight attacking, I like our chances, because I do not think that Florida is going to shoot the ball as well as they did at our place, 46%, making 11 threes. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, Florida loses a home game to Georgia, probably looking toward us. So they're going to be ready to play, and they need this game, too, for NCAA tournament purposes. So it's an important game for them as well, but it would be a great feather in LSU's cap. I think if we win this game, I don't see any way, there is a way, that Vanderbilt comes in, who hasn't won a game, and beats us the last game of the year. I think that place will be electric. But I think we win the game tonight. I really do. I think this team is ready. They understand what's at stake, but they're not too overexcited to leave it in the locker room or leave it on the practice floor. I think we're going to be ready to play, and I think LSU wins the game.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself, Coach John Brady, a.k.a. Sir Isaac Newton. Catch him and Chris Blair on the call tonight, 6 p.m. Coach, did Jordy? How did he sneak on there? He just snuck. He just went in the cargo of the plane. Like, how did Jordy end up in Gainesville?
I don't know how it happened, but he showed up, and we had dinner last night. In fact, we had dinner with Andy Kennedy, who's doing the game on TV, and we had dinner with Monty Tao, who won a national championship playing point guard for NC State with David Thompson. So we all had dinner last night. It was good.
Hell yeah, Coach. You have a great day, my friend.